Welcome aboard to the second edition of the Teacher's Lounge. I am Winston Bell, substitute professional. Across the table from me, she is Stacy Voss, licensed speech professional.
Hi, guys.
All right, kids, a lot to get to on the agenda. I picked you up last week. Let's pick it up where we belong. But the first thing is, we're now under construction. Okay? Listen. Right now, we're a one-lane highway. There's cones. There's other roadblocks. You can reach us, though, at the Teacher's Lounge. That's LOUNGE 721.com. You can email. Or, if you want to call, you can call as well. 216-260-3909. That's the way for you to interact with the show.
Call or text.
Right now, it's just call or text. However...
And email.
However, what's coming, boss?
Our website.
Website will be up and running shortly. Again, we're a work in process. Follow us now as we open the distance learning. Right now, you're 6 feet apart. Eventually, you're going to be 10 feet apart. Eventually, you're going to have a capacity of 12 people. Everybody can get in the room. It will just take time. A lot of things going on. Boss, enough. A lot of things going on. Let me talk a little bit. Obviously, you know the segments. We still have the same. I'll bring you inside the lounge. Yes, boss, they can smoke in here. And we're going to take you inside what's happened with remote distance learning. And, of course, there'll also be a speech tip of the day. Right? But first, we want to talk a little bit about what goes on behind the distance learning. And we'll end it up with the PTPOTD. That is the profession of the day. Profession of the day.
That's my favorite part of the show.
I know that's your favorite part, where everybody gets to dress up and do what they want to do. All right. We'll get to it a little bit. Obviously, we're in week 6 of remote learning. A lot of different issues are taking place. I'll hit on a couple. You'll chime in, Stacy Boss. You'll bring a little bit of your boss sauce, if you will. Boss, I'm tired of parent in Zoom inappropriate. Mixing a pair, get fully dressed. I don't need your white socks. I don't need your cutoff jeans.
White knee-high socks.
No names, please. I don't need to see midriffs, and I don't need to see, inappropriate items in the Zoom. Leave that stuff out of there. The kiddos don't need to see it, and neither does Mr. Bell or Ms. Voss. The other thing about it is, you should be accustomed to Zooming by now. Zooms are not new, okay? We're in week 7. You know your kid is going to log in. You know what time it's going to happen. You know where we are.
Even if you think you're off camera, you're probably still on. Hence the woman who was scratching.
All right, placing her hands inappropriately. What is going on? Keep your hands out of there. The fact that I have to say that. Mom, please. Hands from outside of your crouch, please. I don't like that at all. Terrible. Dad, please, put a shirt on. I don't need to see your gone but never forgotten tattoo. Or I don't need to see the fact that you may have a little bit of a muffin top going on.
And, we get it. You work the night shift. You want to sleep during the day, Dad.
Sure.
But can you not do it on camera, in the background, on a couch, snoring?
It's the equivalent of taking the selfie in the bathroom with someone in the background. Okay? I don't want guy at urinal in the back of your selfie photo. I don't think you want to see that. Boss, do you want to see that?
No.
No, you don't want to see that. I don't want to see guy looking over his shoulder at why am I trying to take my best picture in the men's bathroom. All right, that's item 1. Item 2, we want to talk a little bit about why is it that distance learning, what do you think is most successful about distance learning, boss? What do you think really works? How do kids interact better in the distance than they do in the real classroom?
Well, for one, you really don't have to watch the behavior because the behavior aspect is on the parents now.
Agreed. It is on a lot more responsibility with the parental side. I got mom and dad. Now, the caveat or the other side of the coin of that, boss, is you have to be more respondent. You have to be more aware of what you're saying to parents or what you're saying to children in your Zoom. I can't tell, no names, please. Sit down and shut up. Because again, even though mom might want to say that, you can't say that that's inappropriate. So there's a dual edge of being able to have some parental responsibility and a child. But to your point, I think that kids like the interaction because technology is their medium. They like to ask each other on screen, what did you do? They like to see each other just as they do in real life. I mean, boss, you tell me, if you were learning remote, what would you like most? Other than the fact that you could do it in your pajamas.
See, that's what I was going to say.
I know, boss.
Oh, what would I like most?
Other than the fact that you can have waffles while you're learning algebra.
Those would be my answers.
What's wrong with that, though? What's wrong? A squared plus B squared equals waffles? I have no problems with that. That's a good thing.
Weren't you just telling me, speaking of behavior, that one of your students was acting up, all of a sudden you heard the mute button go on, and the camera turned off.
Yes.
Tell the audience what happened when the camera went back on.
So let me give you a scenario with little, and we'll call him Einstein, if you will. So little Einstein is dancing. He's doing his Fortnite dance while I'm trying to talk about short letter U. He's getting his hands up. His leg is kicking. Mom walks behind him. All of a sudden, the camera goes off. The mute goes off. It goes black. And next, he's sitting on the couch with his arms folded and eyes darting right at mom. I think mom had a little intervention in his newfound behavior. You know how this works, kids. You are out with your kids, and all of a sudden they were acting up, and then you took a quick trip to the restroom. There may have been, or may not have been, some tears. All of a sudden you have a perfect angel at your side. Everybody know what happened. It's the same whether it's remote or in person. Mm-hmm. So, again, distance learning does not put any distance between behavior. All right, we'll talk about that. Let me ask you, and again, I'll ask people, and eventually you'll be able to reach out and answer these questions at 216-260-3909. And of course, you can still chime in on the Teacher's Lounge. But eventually, it's coming up. There'll be live chat as well.
Mm-hmm, yeah, give us a call for now or send us an email.
Send an email.
Let us know how we're doing.
I'm just saying, if you want to say, hey, no more of this, less of this, boss, we're all, as boss likes to say, maybe we want to add some more boss sauce to it. That's the boss sauce. We'll talk about that and what it involves with Jax and, of course, our secret boss recipe. As you know, the Teacher's Lounge has, of course, its second segment, which is our profession of the day. This is where I will reach into a bowl that has been, of course, loaded with professions by Stacy Boss, and I will pull a card out. And we, of course, will walk through a scenario with that profession. I'm reaching in the bowl. I'm pulling out a card. Stacy, our profession of the day, airline customer service attendant. Again, even though you're not flying a lot during the pandemic,
this is going to be good.
Now, be a kind friend. This is going to be airline customer service attendant and customer during the pandemic. Hi, I can take you right here. Thanks for flying fill in the blank airline.
Hi there. I'm going to Jamaica.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And I have and I have my emotional support animal here. I have papers.
I'm certain that you do for your turkey. Ma'am, unfortunately, our emotional support animals are limited to just dogs. But wait, let me tell you what I can do. I understand. And by the way, you can also not take an open bottle of vodka, unless, of course, you'd like to use one of our pre-approved liquid carriers. that I can provide you with.
Would you do that for me?
Of course I would. Over here, outside of the camera. As for the emotional support animal, perhaps what you'd like to do is, well, turkeys do fly, or they do walk. We could perhaps ship them in another airline. That would cost you an additional $75 fee. But I'm thinking that if you have the complimentary beverage carrier, it may offset the turkey fee. Offset the fee. I'll be with you in 1 minute behind you, Jerry.
If I catch your drift, you're
Yes.
saying that perhaps you might look the other way.
Wait, I don't know. I see a lot of people in line. Is this a beverage holder that I'm putting right here?
Okay, let me pour some in.
Thank you so much. And again, ma'am, I'll be with you in 1 second. Thank you so much.
I can't even fit any more in.
That's okay.
I filled it up
think
for
you've
you.
had enough before you got it. I'll just say this, and if you'd like to take Herbert the turkey, perhaps we may be able to serve him better in the galley of the plane. I'm just saying, you can go ahead. I'll go ahead and put that in your overhead bin. I'm going to passage 1 ticket for you to Jamaica. Yaman. You're going to go right through this door. And, of course, remember, your carry-on luggage may get lighter during flight, especially during our beverage service.
I got it. Thank you so much, sir.
You're so welcome, and thank you for flying fill-in-the-blank airline. I can take who's next, please. And we're back with the Teacher's Lounge. Of course, it's time for the Boss Professional, Licensed Professional segment of our program. Boss will choose a question that has now been emailed or texted to us, and she will respond as a licensed professional. Boss, my first question comes in and it says, hey, is my child who's 8 years old, if they have less than 10 speech sessions a semester, is that enough, boss? 10 seems awful light for a whole semester. I'm thinking between August to December, that's 2 times a month. I mean, boss, I get my hair cut every week.
Okay, well, it's not a simple answer. A lot goes in to how many sessions we give a kid.
Sure.
So we tend to give the younger kids, preschool, kindergarten, more sessions.
I'm guessing you got to assess. You got to
And
find
their
out where they
brains
are.
are sponges at that point.
Okay.
And that's when they can soak up a lot of new information. Now, if the speech pathologist happens to lessen those sessions as the student gets older, that is normal. Either 1, they're making progress.
2,
They need to stay in class. You have to remember that the speech therapist is taking them out of class to service them.
what's the role of the teacher? I mean, it's a partnership. You're going back and forth, boss.
Sometimes the teachers will say, we're doing a really special thing in class today.
Good.
Can you maybe come back later? And if I can, I will accommodate that because I don't want the kids missing something fun or special.
But I'll tell you, boss, it was important speech is important, and it's more important now. Catching speech problems early on and being able to correct them. That's why I'm saying, is 10 enough to do that? If you identify the problem, how many is 10 too little, too less?
It depends
What you
on
like.
each individual case. Every case is individualized to that person. So just because so-and-so has 14 sessions and your child has 10 sessions, that was tailored to meet their needs while keeping them in class as much as they need to be.
Is it like, I need 14 piano lessons to be able to find the C chord versus just one? I'm just saying.
Kind of like that.
Okay. So
but don't
I
get
needed
hung up
more.
on the speech sessions, and parents, you're always welcome to seek outside therapy to get even more practice in, or become the speech therapist yourself at home, and they can send you practice words to do with your child.
216-260-3909. That's the number to call or text. The Teacher's Lounge, 721.com. That's how you can reach Stacy Boss and, of course, get these questions in. It's a small highway now. There will be chat. There will be... Boss, do we have time to do one?
That's at gmail.com.
Oh, I'm sorry, at Gmail. Always at Gmail. Boss, do we have time to do one more?
Yeah, hit me again.
All right, let me give you one more. I've got another question. I've got a 2.5-year-old who may stutter or may not stutter. What can I do, or what can I do at home to correct this?
A lot of parents might use the word stutter when that's not really what's happening. Well, first of all, we have to think it might be a stutter if there's a family history of stuttering.
Sure.
So that's one. If there's not, we have to see, is this child just getting excited and wants to, their mouth is moving too faster than their brain?
Okay. That happens to me.
Are they experiencing some real anxiety, and is it a real stutter? That's when you really need to have them assessed by a speech-language pathologist. Because at this point, I don't have enough information to tell you.
Gotcha.
But actually, there are a lot of normal disfluencies with 2.5, 3-year-olds that they tend to just grow out of. Usually, the demands of language are just too high for them, and they can't keep up. But as they get older, they're going to be able to speak more fluently.
How are mom or dad or whoever, how are they identifying all that? 2.5, is it too late to catch it, boss, or is it too early?
No, that's pretty much around the time that kids start talking, give or take. There's a wide range of normal. So that's why a lot of parents will bring stuttering up around 2.5, 3 years old.
Sure. Week 2 of the Teacher's Lounge is in the books. Obviously, we are still smoking in here, but we've got to get back to class. Obviously, our break is over, but yours is not. Remember, you can reach out to us at 216-260-3909 or the Teacher's Lounge. That's the Teacher's Lounge. I'll spell it. Yes, boss, I'll spell it for them. Lounge, Lounge, 721.
At gmail.com.
That's correct. All right. More segments of course, behind the scenes with the teachers. I'll talk more with Boss, the licensed professional, and there'll be, of course, more insider information. All of this powered by a beverage that may or may not be in a green bottle.
Bye, guys.
I am out.